All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Google Rumble tournament. I am Paddo. With me on the mic tonight is going to be the Pimp Imp, and we have a pretty good game coming up for you. This is two of the top teams in the tournament playing Swiss all the way up through. We're going to have GG7, which is going to be our blue team, versus Gforces, which will be our red team. And this is gonna be a pretty epic match. And right off the bat, I think these actually one of these bands actually isn't correct. All the bands look correct to me except for that Annie band that is actually a Rise band, which is targeted at Ponescones, but Ponescones picking up that Diana, which is going to be probably pretty potent and a nice pickup for him. But looking over these teams, what's your just initial impressions of them, the Pimp Imp?
Kind of a weird team coming out with that Diana with the Singe. Like, they got all this AoE and it's just kind of Diana to take care of it. Not really taking advantage of that fully, I don't think. And then they've just got the hard assassin team here from the blue team. I mean, if they can put that together and just blow somebody up, they're gonna be fighting 5v4 all day.
Yeah, I mean, looking at I know that practice-wise, they were looking at the enemy AD player, and they were thinking that he was going to play Draven because they really like to play Draven. So they were thinking of like, what do they counter? And I know they were talking about possibly running an MF so they could have that Curse of the Set bullet time. But then, pretty much, I think their AD player Demon actually got talked down, and they were like, no, you should play Tristana. That's your best AD. So just go win lane that way, and as long as we can do well in lanes, we should be able to win. So maybe that's their strategy here. But yeah, like you said, they have a lot of great AoE to hold people in place, but not a lot of just AoE damage to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, with the two assassins, I mean, if they do have an assassin of their own, so maybe just holding them in place for a while is going to allow Ponescones to just run around and destroy everyone. But I mean, that is Diana. If Diana gets ahead, she's going to do that. But I mean, on the other side of the coin, Kali can do the same thing, and they've got Zach, who, I mean, I've really not seen a lot. I've played maybe one game and seen probably about half of a game on a stream that a guy was just jumping around the map, showing you how far you could go. But I mean, how that Zach comes out of the jungle is going to be pretty big in this game too. I mean, those jumps can come out of nowhere and just start a team fight. So we'll have to see how that plays with this assassin team, because if they catch someone, they're gonna kill them almost every time.
Yeah, I actually feel like Zach is actually a really strong jungler. I know Highwind was actually having a lot of good success with them in solo queue, just because he's naturally very, very tanky, has that long initiation range, initiation range that you talked about, and then when he's in the middle of his ult, he can still use his AoE ability, which a lot of people actually don't know. They think it's just you just bounce around. But if you combine that with his AoE ability, which also does percentage damage, then his ult can actually put out a really ridiculous amount of damage on a team if they're not paying attention to it. Plus, he's tanky, and he has a minigame Anivia like ult or passive that he can use in certain circumstances to get himself back up. So he's actually pretty potent. So I'll be interested to see how well Sniped actually uses him here. Overall in the bot lane, yeah, that Caitlyn Taric, the old school lane, if you will, the stun cupcake trap combo type of thing.
Yep.
But the all in on the other side between Tristana and Leona though is also going to be pretty potent. So I think Taric might be playing a little bit more just defensively with his stuns in this lane, because I think more than likely Gforces bot lane with the Tristana Leona I see probably going to be more of the aggressors.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could make a difference is if they take the golems, they could go for level 2 all in. If that doesn't work, they're going to be playing defensively the whole time. I mean, I really don't think there's going to be much going on. Caitlyn can farm from so far away, and all Taric that has to do is stun Tristana, and they'll be completely safe the whole lane. But if they do go for that level 2 all in, I mean, it's a pretty good pretty good advantage that you get from doing those double golems, and if they can take advantage, it could snowball the lane right away.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to wait to load up in here. I'm actually gonna have to put it in borderless because I think when I was playing my previous game, I had the issue because I clicked and then I had to put it into full screen. So I'll fix that and then we'll hop into the game, which it looks like all these people have good computers and they're loading up fast. This is a treat. I mean,
Well,
I
should hope so.
they
They
all work at Google.
all work
They
at
should have the
Google.
monies.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have the beater computers.
Well, yeah. I guess you. No, I don't know if you could stand. If that was your job, I don't know how you could stand working on a computer
Yeah,
at
all those
home.
guys have their SSDs and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I got one, and I don't know why I did.
Well, with that, it looks like these guys are actually going to march out here. Do you think we'll see an invade from either of these teams in here?
Uh,
I mean, it is
yeah.
there is an Amumu on the
Elise,
board, which usually like
Elise
is
Tarek, that they should definitely invade.
yeah.
They should invade for sure. I mean, I guess there's a flip, but yeah, looks like we just have some defensive pings out here, though.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what I've actually we're gonna see Singe. No, Singe doesn't actually have a ward. He's just running up towards red buff. But typically, what I've seen too is like Amumu is like just a huge catalyst because everybody knows it's like Amumu's on the board. It's like we counter jungle and we win, and that's the way we go. So usually, you either see teams being aggressive and trying to push out themselves, or just really heavily defending the blue buff, which it looks like that's what Gforces is doing. Opponent's going just poking out a little bit. Might throw out a spell just to poke in some damage, but be the bunny, taunting and laughing out here. Cupcake trap over the wall. Not going to be super effective unless Be the bunny wants to run on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta eat those cupcakes, right?
Well, it's a
It's a little
Yordle.
early for that.
It is a Yordle snap trap, so I mean, there's two Yordles over there. The bait was very tempting.
Yeah, they didn't go for it though. Yeah, against Amumu, I don't really like fighting that much. He's really not the worst person at early levels. It's just usually he sucks if you don't get blue. But if you just go steal his red, I mean, on red invades, I've been really successful in just catching somebody out there defending. If you just take a route they don't think you're gonna go, you just come around and you come up behind them and you just get a free kill. You get a free red buff, and then you can catch him when he comes back to yours if he tries to go for it. And then he's not ganking until 6 because he doesn't have a red buff.
Yeah, that's actually typically what I've seen in competitive play, like the new invades on Amumus, because everybody's so focused around blue buff. Usually they actually head over to red, and then usually you'll also catch the enemy team. Typically, depending on if you ward or not, but you usually catch the enemy team trying to move in if they try to invade blue. Running around top, or if they're on the path there, you'll meet them halfway or whatever. But we're not gonna see that from either way. But should be some interesting lanes. Elise, the all-in assassin of top lane against Singe, who's gonna want to get some levels before he gets bullied out here a little bit in the mid lane. The trade's going down very, very early. Ignite actually popped onto Pone's Goats. Might be able to get the flash after, pops it, and Nidalee not able
Singe
to get
went
the
super
kill.
aggressive top while that was happening, popped the ghost, and did a lot of damage. Just went for a little bit of a level 2 all in there. Got quite far ahead here, but at least we'll be able to sustain back up with the potions. But it's going to give the Singed a little bit of a lane advantage, and you never want to hear that when you're going up against a Singed.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Elise taking advantage of the before health potions and everything gets nerfed here. Has 5 mana potions, 5 health potions. Had more than that when she started out there. Probably had 2 more. Probably had 7 red pots. But yeah, that's all that's going to be nerfed here in the short while. You're only going to be able to take 5 of each, which we might see something similar to what she has there. But I don't know how they'll fill in the rest of the gold if they decide to start like that.
Everybody will probably just go Elixir start.
Yeah. Well, Elixir's getting nerfed too. It's going to be 100
Oh,
more
is it?
gold. Yeah. So, Riot
maybe
apparently
not.
doesn't want you to start.
Oh,
anything.
nice hook there from Amumu. He does have double buffs, but
Oh, and actually, Diana actually landed that on the
enough
Nidalee
jukes.
blind.
Enough jukes to get away though.
Yep.
Just rolling right down.
But it's going to be a lot harder later when Amumu shows up with like a pink ward or something. It's gonna be hard to get away for Nidalee at that point, but I keep calling it Nidalee. It's a collie. Gosh dang it, I'm mental right now.
It's the assassin fight. Nidalee's can be an assassin, just generally not.
Yeah, so a collie in the mid lane. Yeah. So
Yeah, I like this matchup for Diana a lot. I mean, obviously the mana thing can be an issue, but it generally isn't. Just that shield. It's not really a lane where there's a lot of kills generally. because of the defensive skills both characters can have. But they're both also offensive. Yeah, looks like some stuns are being thrown out here in the bot lane from
Yeah,
Terran.
a lot of zoning with traps right there. Leon's going to eat one right off the bat, but actually Tarek doing a good job zoning here. I don't know if they, I don't know, just good brush control in general.
Zach getting ready to jump in the mid. Here he comes.
Oh, he's going to be right on him. There's that slow. Opponent's not going to be able to get out of this one. First blood going to go to Akali, and you don't ever want to see that with Akali on the board.
No, good job of handing off that kill there. Some more aggression in the bot lane. You're going to give a little bit extra advantage there, but yeah, Kaelin's doing a good job of farming up here at this harass. Singe is going to go down as well.
Yeah, nice pursuit by James Gondor right there. Just, that's the power of Elise. If you get too low, her all-in potential is so strong, especially with that repel. Like, the range on repel is huge, and you can even jump on people when they're outside of the range. That's the part that is ridiculous to me. It's like, I don't know. You get a little bit more range than it shows there to jump onto people, and Sid's not able to escape.
Yeah, no, blowing that ghost at level 2, like, you just went a little too aggressive there. Zach should be able to walk away from this, no problem. Yeah, jump over the wall. There you go.
Yep, he's going to be safe and could even just cover this middle lane a little bit if he wants to. I expect Diana to possibly get some revenge when she does hit 6, but we'll have to see here. But yeah, right there was a perfect example of Zach's potency, just having that ridiculously long initiation. And Tara just keeps doing work here. That dazzle over and over again onto D-Bomb. They've kept this lane pushed and done some great zoning with the Yordle snap traps. And now, as you can see here, 45 CS to 29 CS, building up a pretty decent lead here in CS and staying pretty safe.
Yeah, there's not really anything that can happen here.
Oh, there's that level 6. They're going to try to trade a little bit here. It looks like Akali actually going to back off out of this one. Throws down the Shroud to go invisible, dodge some of that damage, but with the low cooldowns even on that ult, Diana might actually rinse repeat it here.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, that's a case of where Diana doesn't have the sustain advantage here, but has a bit of the power advantage right now.
We'll see if Zach actually decides to go on this one. Looks like he's actually just going to cross over. Was hiding out in the bushes, was thinking about it, but saw Diana backed off, so decided to move along. Blue buff up. We'll see actually if
Elise gets it or not.
Yeah, well,
So that's where I'd put it. Singe popping the ult here. Getting snared.
it's not going to help him. It's
Oh.
going to give him some health back, but it's not going to let him trade and win the trade.
He's going to go for the flip. Doesn't get it.
Gotta watch out for those spiderlings too. I think you can actually flip them, which would be pretty heartbreaking.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Zach is getting spotted out here. A little bit of a late reaction though.
Oh,
and
the
it
stun
hits.
lands.
The
Oh,
ghost
gets
is
that
up,
slow
but
off. And look at that repel. That was he was like a full 200 units outside that repel, and she still
was
able to jump to him.
yeah,
Like,
let's go.
like my-
I guess maybe the range is indicating where some part of your character model has to touch. I don't know.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that was a little weird. It looked outside. Are they gonna go for the harass here? Like
Oh.
that was just a bait.
yeah, the flash happened to be burned by Zero Vash.
Reflash out of the bait there. The back. Yikes. Yeah, they're gonna get some tower pressure out of this.
Yeah, I mean, they saw the ward go down. I mean, at that point, they were like, hey, let's back off and go by. And then they're like, all right, free damage and backing you off. All right, might as well just take advantage of this, get some more CS and push in a little bit.
And now they look like they are just gonna back off. Little harass there. See, now that's fine. When there's only one of them, go for it.
Yeah.
But don't stop them both by yourself.
Yeah, it is sometimes, too, if you can catch them when they're not paying attention, because, it depends on the player, but a lot of times they get greedy, and they're thinking about what they want to buy, and they have the shop open. Sometimes you can sneak in on there, but and that time didn't work out for them.
Callie looking for some roam, but that ward's still doing work. Almost dead now, but looks like Singe has got another one, so should be fine.
Yeah, Be the Bunny finally level 6 here, so could see a Mumu make some big plays.
Diana's gonna get collapsed on though.
Oh, Banshoss is going to land it in top lane. Will they be able to get this with the Curse of Sad Mummy and the flip? It looks like they will be able to repel pop, but the poison is still going to kill. Meanwhile, Diana in a lot of trouble, able to get down Zac, but not able to tank this out, and the turret should clear the blobs. We'll see how close it's going to be. Oh, kills him just before he gets up.
Yeah, I was going to get one of the two of them. Akali was able to get out there. Moo probably shouldn't get this, but who knows?
Yeah, anything's
possible.
possible.
Akali getting away in time. That's good. Yeah. Oh, Triss might go for the jump.
Oh, Triss is gonna do it. Is she gonna jump though? No, he's not.
That's
jump.
That's not their ward. She's coming mid, looking to see where they went. That was a dragon opportunity. Not a great one, but it's still an opportunity. I mean, it was sitting there full health.
I don't know. They probably saw those YouTube videos too with those Zacs jumping in.
Yeah, that's true.
They just jump from base. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, it would have been.
You could jump from red buff.
That's true. Only a minor exaggeration. But yeah, both teams actually making some pretty good plays here early. We see the slight advantage coming in here for GG7. I think in lane advantage, they've actually been doing pretty good. I mean, the CS up top is pretty similar, but it leaves with those 2 kills, going to give it the lead. And Akali with 2 kills in mid lane that's been able to pick off. And the CS advantage at bottom, I'd have to, I mean, that's where the gold advantage is coming from, but GG7, at least in the early stages, coming out of lane phase, are going to look like the stronger team.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Mumu is actually quite a bit ahead. Tarek just kind of buffs and everything there for some light harass. That was kind of weird. But yeah, Mumu needs to buy up. I think Mumu should be sitting on a decent amount. Yeah, 1,700. But also, that ultimate's coming up, so looks like just wants to go bottom, but a really nice ward has that spotted out. They're playing a little bit safer, it looks like.
Yeah, after GG7, they actually have the advanced ward at the blue buff as well. It'd be really hard for a Mumu to get in on this one. The fail flash over the wall, but still going to be able to escape out of this is singed. Mumu sneaking in, but they do have that ward there. I mean, unless
he's running flash. I didn't even notice he was running both.
Yeah. I didn't notice either till he failed to get over that wall. But yeah, they definitely need to bring some pink wards if they actually want to get in on this bot lane. Which, I mean, I agree it is a good lane to get in on. Since you've been playing a lot of solo queue and ganking bot lane, how are you usually successfully getting into bot lane? Typically.
I mean, it's a lot of cooperation with your team, but I mean, generally, if you're going from blue side, it's usually a lot easier. As you see the aggression there, Tristana just getting out with the jump. But, I mean, that's just going to open up the CS lead a little bit more here. But, yeah, from red side, it's pretty difficult. I mean, your best option is to come behind Dragon. If you can get there. But, I mean, that one ward near mid solves that problem also. So, it's a tough game. But, yeah, I mean, usually you just want to, like, bring your own pink or get the support to bring one for you. But if you can get in on the bot lane, it makes a big impact, because if you can get ahead in that lane, I mean, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the mid game if you can get your AD to late game status quicker.
Yeah, I mean, plus the typical thing of just going in there. If you pick off that, you can either push into a turret sometimes, or you can push into a dragon. Sometimes both, depending on how it's going. Although a big engagement down here bot lane, D-Bum flashing in actually pushes Tark against the wall. Will they be able to run this one
They're
down
going
here?
at it as well. It looks like Poncegon's going down. Yep.
Yeah, Kali just getting the better of them as the assassin right now, and that's a slippery slope with an Akali. Like,
yeah, and that's a gunblade waiting to be made, waiting to be bought and forged. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty. That's not what they wanted. If it was a lot of this game, I got an invisible dragon on my screen, but they're doing it.
Me too. But he's going down. The ghost dragon.
Yeah, there's no wards on it, so that's nice. There's going to be a ward right now, but it's going to be too late.
And he appears.
The moon got really low, though. That's too bad they didn't have that ward.
Yeah, that would have been lots of...
Either team had it.
Really risky gamble, yeah.
Ooh, just waiting to switch. Akali's going to have trouble here.
Still more risky right here. They have a lot of stuns. They're going to be able to pick up this kill, but Akali clean up IO blue buff.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Akali was not the person I should have said was going to be in trouble. I meant a Mumu.
Yeah. Singed, though, actually being able to help pick up a kill in the top lane.
defending the dive. Well, that's good. And they did get a dragon, so I mean, their big problem here is how are they going to survive Akali?
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, that's gonna be a tough
they do
minigame.
have a really good disengage team.
Yeah, I mean they do have a lot of CC that if they're able to land it on her, I mean they could lock her up long enough that they will be able to tear her down. It's just
Okay.
I feel like the problem is a lot of the other members on the enemy team, like there's a lot of threats still being built here between Caitlyn and Elise.
Oh yeah, Kaylin is gonna be pretty big pretty soon, and Elise is obviously pretty big already. Um, Zach's a little further behind than I like. I guess he's got the 3 assists, but maybe that's just because I'm not familiar with him. I don't. Maybe he's just not a very good farmer. But he's only got 49, which is a little low.
Yeah, I mean he's been really focusing on ganking, which he's actually been majority successful with, except for that last one that was in top lane. But
Yeah.
after he gets the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, I mean that spellbomb actually works really great with him. He is an AP jungler, so
Yep.
follow this up, he should actually be pretty fine. I mean, again, he is a pretty good tanky jungler with his passive as well. So as long as he's able to initiate and do his job, does have the percent damage as well, so doesn't need too much AP to be able to deal enough damage in a fight and be disruptive. So still probably going to be pretty potent for their team, but obviously nothing near an Amumu with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. That's pretty good to lock a team down if they can start to land those really good ones. And that's what I think a lot of these team fights are going to have to rely on the back of some just really good CC on Akali and the enemy team, just getting lots of bang for their buck.
These fights are going to be really strange, I think. Just because of all the CC, like you're basically running 3 CC tanks with 2 very mobile damage sources.
Yeah.
On Triss and Diana. And then on the other team, you have kind of the 2 mobile damage dealers and then the 2 tanks, which aren't as heavy on the CC, but a little bit better at tanking. And then Kaylin. So I think Kaylin's going to be the X Factor in this game.
Oh, wow. Demon going all out on this one, but gets the exhaust, not able to pick up the kill. And Leona just not, I mean, put through the kitchen sink at him, but in the end just wasn't enough. Caitlyn just showing that ability, just how ahead their bot lane is right now. I mean, if they were even, that would have worked, but not in that case. Just a little bit short.
They were even in items.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's true.
I don't know if there's a level difference there.
I think it was actually, you know what, it really was mainly the exhaust. And actually, Akali here turning right on to Diana, sending her away. And Amumu not going to be able to do too much to this.
No. He did a good job making sure Diana didn't die, but there's not really anything else going to come out of that. And, you know, there's a bit of a lead opening up here. All the lanes have been getting a little bit behind. And it's starting to show an overall gold here. I mean, they didn't even get the dragon. They gave that up, but they've got a turret here, and they're way ahead in all of the lanes. Actually, the top lane's not too bad, but in the mid lane, I mean, Akali's just dominating now, and Caitlyn's been dominating for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, 2K gold lead in the mid lane. 1.5 in the bot lane. And the top lane, that actually is pretty even. Although, it looks like Sid's going to die here. There's that repel. Oh, the flash there. Got it. Was pretty close right there. Living on the edge.
Yeah, Sinch is getting pretty close, but it's not quite there yet. At least just got a little bit too far ahead early. And so that he's just a little bit behind now. If he stayed just a little bit more, like just any bit more even, they would be they'd be trading every time.
Wow, you see Diana just get absolutely shredded there. Ace in the hole gonna be able to take her out. Doesn't matter. Demon hopping over there, using the ult to try to get him away, but it's not going to be enough. Now going to take over the defensive mid lane. Amumu coming and flanking in from the side. Elise actually picking up blue buff here, but Zach just waiting in the wings to close in on this one, and this is not really the fight they want. Zach going to hop into this one, get right onto Amumu, flash over the wall to get out of it, and now they're actually just going to have to hide underneath turret as GG7 sets up for a good siege here.
They're not going to be able to hide very long if they want to push this. Yeah, that should go down. No, they're just gonna play it safe here.
Oh, Singe
Singed
coming in
might.
this one, but eats the stun, but should be able to catch up to this. The net was already used, but not going to be able to get there before the turret's actually going to provide protection.
Yeah, he didn't want the tear. I would have maybe just taken it, but I guess Akali's there. You probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, she's a scary beast. And unfortunately, Diana just hasn't been able to get going so far this game. And that's kind of the way that lane was going to go either way. I mean, if one of them started to
Yep.
a lead, the other one was just going to get a pretty big advantage, and just a lot better ganks coming in there. And it looks like Debo might get caught out here. And it looks like, the Zenith Blade take him to the back line, and even though Akali goes back the other way, just flashes and dives in there, is able to pick up the kill. Now going to go for more. Goes on there. There's a double kill. Will we see another triple kill? Looks like it's going to be a wrap. There it is. And that Akali just running away. A freight train.
Oh, they picked up the dragon while that was going on too.
Multitasking.
Yes.
When you're this far ahead, it's about objectives, eh? If you take two at once and get some kills. Sword
looks like Singe might get one, but they're gonna lose another one mid probably here. Oh, that could be a kill.
Yeah, max range stun working out here. Shield's gonna go up, not gonna be enough to protect her though. Caitlyn gonna grab that one. And yeah, this is just looking all sorts of bad right now for Gforces, who's looked strong throughout this tournament, but just the way all these lanes worked out, pretty much lost every lane in this game. I mean, slightly in the jungle that was coming out of there, but since
yeah,
now,
well,
let's see if they can turn around here.
I mean, Zach just sacrificed himself to help his team, and that works as well.
They're not gonna take him down,
fine.
but he's coming back.
Yep. Full health.
That's a heartbreaker. Comes back with about half health. Team's still up pretty buff, and right now the only ones with the wards up on the map. We're going to see Gforces press pretty hard to their base. They're going to want to get out and probably get some sort of vision to try to protect some stuff, but it's going to be a hard task from this part. They've fallen pretty far behind. When at 20 minutes in, you're down 10k. That's usually a death sentence for a lot of teams unless you have some really good late game to back it up, which they do have Tristana. But I don't know if they have the stalling power now with how strong Akali is and how much map control their enemy team is going to have.
Yeah. And Tristana probably has some decent gold right now, actually. No, doesn't have very much at all. So Kaelin's just way ahead now, too. Like, it's approaching 3k. Akali is more than 3k, 3.4. So I mean, those matchups alone just shows you how far ahead they are. So yeah, like Zach sacrificed some farm, and I was like, well, Mumu's ahead, might be able to do something, but their lanes just got so far behind from his help. He was really effective at getting that. I mean, the most important thing was just winning that mid lane. You snowball those whatever assassin got snowballed was going to win the game.
Yeah,
big fight here in the top.
Diana trying to get in there onto Caitlyn, but it's not going to be enough. Tries to get back out of it, but Elise is pretty good backup at this point to deal with this. And Zach now running in too, going to try to launch at the Singe, get that slow off. They are going to get a little bit of it. Caitlyn trying to apply that red buff and slow him down, but it's kind of hard to chase a Singe, but you can do it when you have infinite range repel and ace in the hole. Oh man, that's brutal.
Yeah, that was a short ranged skill there.
Yeah.
went from like blue buff. No, it wasn't quite that bad.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick up top tower here while they're split pushing bot.
Yeah, might have been able to get out if Flash was up, but just came up at the last second after he died, so not able to use that to get out, get to safety. So farming bot lane while they know a lot of pressure is actually in top lane. Gonna pick up the easy turrets is GG7. And at this point, they're the only ones really with a good ward presence on the map. They actually are the only ones with wards up in top lane or around Baron, it looks like. So at this point, I mean, they can pretty much go and take whatever objectives they want. It's just going to push them farther and farther ahead.
Yep, they can bully wherever they want, as long as they do it as a team, or half a team at least. I think they could probably split push this game down in about 5 minutes, but probably better that they play it safe. They don't want to lose any fight ever.
Ooh, trying to get in here onto Akali. Need to burn that Curse of the Sad Mummy early if they want to get her. They're just going to burn it right off the bat. And they don't really quite get enough damage out there. She is finally going to be picked up. thanks in part to that poison there from Singe. Now trying to run down the rest of the team. Waiting for that banish toss to get off to get a little bit more here. Try to catch someone else. The rest of the team trying to chase in here. The Elise stun gonna miss out here, but gonna repel on the back lines onto D-Bump. He's actually gonna use his rocket jump to try to get some distance. Pushes Zach away. Now Leona unfortunately looks like she's gonna be shark food.
Yeah, Diana's farming mid. I don't know why they continue to chase that. Big factor there, that Zanya's completely negated the Curse of Sad Mummy. It was there. I'm not really sure why it was used to hold the Akali in place. Like they had her caught. She was caught. She was dead. Used it, but it was in the middle of Zanya's. It didn't even do anything. And so when they went in for that chase there, they didn't really have anything. They didn't have a big damage source. I mean, Triss doesn't really have very much damage right now. She doesn't. And Singed has basically no damage right now, and Amumu's sitting on basically no damage, and Leona's sitting on base. So they just went in there with no damage, and they got picked apart.
Yeah, I mean,
gave up another turret.
Yeah, Chase was definitely the mistake, the poor decision right there at the end. But also, I think, okay, we finally see actually a pink ward getting picked up by Leona. But that was another thing, too, that I was like, you kind of need that if you want to take down an Akali. I mean, they had her right there. But, I mean, she could have easily shrouded and juked her way out of it, too. And they would have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult now with the shroud change. But, oh well, Singe is dead. That didn't take very long.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't be out on the map with that little health and that little amount of wards.
Yeah, and just an Akali. It's fed.
Yeah.
Completely fed up here. 9-1.
They got an Elise too, and a Zac. Let's see. They only have 3 champions that can come out of pretty much nowhere and kill you. At that health.
Only 3.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Zac couldn't have got the job done. Probably didn't have enough damage, but if anybody else was with them, they would have. We're gonna get another free dragon here. They do use a pink on it. I would probably just take it in
at this point. But hey, if you have it, might as well throw it down at some point, I guess. Get that extra ward gold if it's there.
Yeah. I would just want to fight. Come on, guys, come fight us. Off a tower. I don't know about all in that one.
D-Bump saving his support. Thinking about eating an ace in the hole there for a second. Diana running for her life. Pretty familiar look here. Nice stun landed actually onto her. And she is pretty worth her well. Pwn's going to be taken down here yet again. But yeah, just really nice execution from GG7 throughout this game, and they're snowballing it correctly, and it looks like they're ready to close it out here. At least take their first base turret at the very least.
Yeah, they should be able to pick this up.
Akali's like, yeah, totally, come for me, guys.
That just baited out. Have a free inhib, no problem. I'll use 1 skill for an inhib any day.
Oh, Curse this time, we're going to hold the back line, but not going to do anything about that Akali, which is on the front lines, trying to kill people. Will the turret shot be able to get it? Looks like it is. And so at least a morale kill there, at least a little bit, but losing an inhibitor, being down this much, pretty much the fat lady's singing at this point. Yeah,
they're going to go pick themselves up a Baron just to make sure. We'll see if maybe they go in for a 2-3 man steal here. Yeah, it was kind of a weird decision from Akali. Like, there was somebody was really low on the other team, but instead she went in on a half-health Leona. Leona's decently tanky, so I'm not really sure why they did this. They are going to back off here. I mean, they could have gone for that fight. They knew 2 people were down, so I guess they have a few low members, but they had a full health Caitlyn.
Yeah, I think at this stage it might be just a case of they're like, hey, you know what? Let's just not risk any little thing. And I mean, even like you never know what might happen, and so they just
I mean, it is just safe to wait for 10 seconds, go back, buy. I mean, they may lose the Baron, but if they do that, they'll probably get an inhib out of it.
Yeah. And this would be the bad choice for Gforces. This is the wrong choice for Gforces at this point, because they're basically
there's 2 half-health members that they're gonna peel out right away. They're gonna do this pretty quickly. I don't know. I just wait here. Let that wave push in.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy's still down, so it's not like even they could get a really good clean fight off of this one if they wanted to. The clock is
Just wait
ticking.
a
G4's
little
gonna have to
bit
make a choice.
longer. Here comes the super creeps.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. And now they're actually getting chased, running for their lives now at this point. Away from Baron and to close out those super creeps, they realize they can't actually sit around there and fight it. So now we're going to see GG7 pull off this Baron. The dance is done, and then after they get this, I fully expect them to mount up and just take what they want. Pillage like Vikings.
Yeah, they might buy, I think, about only half a team. Caitlyn should probably spend that 4,500 gold she's gonna have after this. So I feel they might back off.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I mean,
I know how these
Tristan
AD
is not
carries work.
quite.
You know,
Yeah,
they're pretty. They're all about their items, right? You know, they don't see a creep wave. They see an item like half of an Infinity Edge like floating down the lane. That's how it works for them. So they want to spend their gold and be all powerful at the end of this. So now we're gonna see Caitlyn roar back out here, and we'll see how valiant of a fight Gforces can put out here. But I imagine it's gonna be pretty rough for them.
yeah. The old one by Infinity Edge, pretty good here. Still rocking a decent amount of gold. Gonna pick up a red buff, and they're just gonna shove the bot. It looks like. And they can be really patient here. They do have the inhib. Callie's not going to be patient. Just going to go in, try and kill Singe. It's not going to quite go down. She might end up being caught. No, Singe decides to come back in. Still going to be okay. They're going to bust everything.
Yeah, Hourglass going to be able to get her through that. Now actually going to turn this one around onto Diana, but Caitlyn able to pick up the kill, flashing away just to get away with the Ignite still ticking on her. Barely lives, but going to be able to come back into this one. Life still at the rest of the health that she does need. Full team up, and there's going to be really no defense at this point from Gforces.
AoE ulti is getting used on one member too often in this game. I mean, they were really far behind before that was even a factor, but it's pretty tough. Moo has basically only been hitting Akali every time. I think there was one fight where they got the back line.
Yeah, and that was when they were in the base chasing the rest of his team pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halbert, very, very legendary at this point. Thank you, Summoner's Rift lady. Yeah, a lot of huddling into the fountain to live, and D-Bomb almost dies to that crit coming out from Caitlyn, who is absolutely chunking everybody, and that is going to be the game. GG7, congratulations to them picking up this win.
Yeah. Very, very well played game. They had the better team comp, and by being able to snowball like Cali, they just were able to dominate the map. I mean, they did win every lane too. The Singe did a pretty good job because
I think he did do a pretty good job.
The Singe did a good job because the Zac was up there a little more often, and he got really behind early when he went for that level 2 all in, and it didn't